What if I told you YouTube literally revealed how their algorithm works? And frankly speaking, they're not hiding your amazing content from the world. In fact, they're desperately trying to show it to people who might actually enjoy it. So some of you might have come across this video from Creator Insider, which explains how the YouTube algorithm works in 2025. I watched this video from YouTube themselves that explains exactly how their system works, and honestly, is eye-opening, or it's a nightmare depending on how you see it. I personally think most creators are blaming the wrong thing entirely, but more on that later because now I want to share my thoughts with you on what YouTube actually said about their algorithm and why you need to stop using it as an excuse for why your channel isn't blowing up. I will summarize what they revealed about how their system actually works, and honestly, it makes sense in some way, but whether it is true or not, that's up for debate. Okay, so the first thing YouTube made super clear is the algorithm is 100% centered around the viewer, not us content creators. It's not sitting there trying to figure out which videos YouTube likes to promote. It's trying to predict what each person wants to watch next based on their watch history. They described it as automating word of mouth on a massive scale. So I guess it is sort of like the share button on YouTube. Who uses that anyways? And because of this prediction method, a video that did nothing when you posted it can suddenly start getting views 6 months later. YouTube explained that this happens because the content became relevant again, maybe because it is evergreen content, or maybe something in the news made your old topic interesting again. So you never know what can happen. Another thing that caught my attention, which seems really weird to me, is YouTube said they look at things like time of day as a signal to push certain content to viewers. Like they can tell if certain content is more appealing in the morning versus night. They are that detailed in figuring out viewer preferences. I don't know if that's true because that didn't happen to me, but there is a plus side to this. For example, video series. If a series of videos is launched at the same time every week, then maybe viewers will look forward to it. And when the viewer tunes in to the same video series every week at the same time, then YouTube will push that video out automatically. Okay, they also cleared one thing up, that whole obsession with click-through rates and watch time. So many creators are like, which one matters more? And YouTube's answer was basically, it depends. They specifically state that click-through rates and watch time aren't comparable across channels. The metrics you see are relative to your content. So when that other creator brags about their 15% CTR and how that's the number we should all get, it might not mean anything for your niche. Different factors matter for different niches as well. Like for music videos or podcasts, they don't expect the same watch patterns as, say, a tutorial. Instead of obsessing over views and subscribers, YouTube said we should focus on our actual goals. What are you trying to achieve with your channel? That's the most important part. Having said that, they did mention if a video performs well in terms of click-through rate versus your other videos, it will probably get more impressions, which leads to more views. So from that perspective, it feels kind of contradictory about what they said earlier on click-through rate doesn't really matter. One super interesting concept they talked about was satisfaction. YouTube is trying to understand viewer behavior, how they spend their time on the platform, what they engage with, what they say in comments. They're looking at how much your content provides value per minute or total value overall. Their whole goal of measuring that isn't just to keep people on YouTube longer. It's also to make people keep coming back because they found value in a particular channel. Another thing YouTube was really clear about is something that happens to all of us. Views going down doesn't mean your channel is dying. They explained that viewers often binge for a channel for a while, then leave the channel and then come back later a couple of weeks or months after. That's totally natural. You can't always be hitting your highest numbers all the time. Instead of panicking about short-term drops, YouTube recommends looking beyond 90 days to see the full context. They suggested using Google Trends to understand if interest in your topic has naturally changed. Google Trends doesn't tell the whole story, but it can reveal interesting signals about supply and demand in your niche. Okay, one of the biggest points I picked up is YouTube subtly admitted they rank videos based on several metrics that they don't fully reveal, because if they did, people would just try to game the system instead of making good content. I still do think that YouTube's ranking system is a little broken. I have a gut feeling that the algorithm is loosely based on Google's PageRank algorithm, where each web page has a certain rank to it. Any page that ranks higher will have the luxury of appearing at the top or the first page on Google search, and that's where web pages get the most traffic. And I think YouTube has a similar algorithm where big and established channels are ranked higher, and they will stay there because they have already had an audience they built over the years. So it is like a case of David versus Goliath. Only thing is, David doesn't stand a chance at all. But in all seriousness, YouTube trying to guess what viewers want to watch, while I do admit is pretty accurate based on my home feed, I do feel like it may not be that beneficial for content creators. On one hand, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense to have videos revolve around the viewers and show them videos that they are interested in. On the other hand, subscribing to a channel becomes meaningless. And judging from the comment section, it does look like I'm not the only one feeling this way. Multiple YouTubers, both big and small, have expressed similar concerns. Like for my channel, many people would like to start a YouTube channel and my videos can gain traction easily. But now, since the demand for it has dropped, my video doesn't gain that much traction anymore because my viewers have moved on. But can I change my niche? Can I change my target audience? Yes, I can, but it becomes extremely hard. So it sounds to me like we have to be very careful with our niche selection. We can't select a niche that will die down in a year. We can't select a niche that is based on silly trends. Instead, we have to select a niche that can last for years, things that people will always be looking forward to, like tech review, investments, crypto, entertainment. And even after taking that into consideration, we still have to be very careful with niching down too much. Like, if you're doing tech review, you're gonna make sure you review a broad range of products and not just, say, an iPhone. But if you're starting out as a new channel, being broad isn't going to help you as all your traffic is sucked up by bigger channels. Basically, it is not straightforward, and I doubt it ever will. The fact that it is centered around viewers means the algorithm will always be changing. Things like click-through rate or watch duration or trends, you can't use them to determine the success of your next video because people change over time and people's interests change over time. And that to me is the most unpredictable thing ever in the world. So yeah, next time you're wondering why your channel isn't growing, maybe don't blame the algorithm right away. According to YouTube themselves, it's not out there to get you. It's trying to connect viewers with content they'll actually enjoy watching. It is pretty clear to me that to YouTube, it will always be viewers first, content creators second. The one thing I do agree with what was said is sometimes we just need to take a step back and evaluate our channel constructively. What exactly are we running our YouTube channel for? What's our aim? What's our goal? I think that has to be clearly defined in your own terms, and only then you will know what to do with the views and subscribers you built. Because sometimes trying to get to 100,000 views is good and it makes us feel validated, but if those 100,000 views don't do you any good, like it doesn't fit in with your goal, then it doesn't really matter. In contrast, if you're only getting 10,000 views and 10% of those converts and sign up to your membership, then perhaps that's a much better deal than chasing views. But again, it all depends on what your goal is. I personally think chasing views is exhausting thanks to its unpredictability and human behavior, so I would suggest going after your own goal instead. To be honest, there's absolutely nothing you can do about the YouTube algorithm. We can complain all we want, but know that nothing will change. So that kind of leaves us with just one option. We're just going to create videos with the intention of giving more value to viewers and expect nothing in return. Because I believe it is that false hope, that expectation we have from the YouTube algorithm that can make us feel entitled, up till the point where it makes us feel lazy to put in the hard work to get what we want.